Thank you. Mayor Bienski, I'm happy to be here today and appreciate everything you do for this community and wanted to recognize you. I would say this, I'm apologize for kind of sneaking in and going first. I'm trying to get out of town and go up toward Fort Worth. Tomorrow, there's a funeral for Charlie Guerin, who is chairman of House Administration. His father passed away, and I'm going to attend that funeral. And I'm going up tonight, spend the night with my sister-in-law, so we're trying to get out of town here pretty quickly. I am very fortunate in that I have lived in this community a long time, and people ask me all the time, says, how in the world would an old man like you get elected? And I say, it's very easy. I'm old, I know all the old people, and they all vote. and I truly believe that. I've been here since I was a kid. I love this town, I love this community, and I love Texas A&M. And I'm proud to be serving you. And as I always say, if you have something that's of concern to you, please call me. I will return your phone call. And that is a pledge that I make. I've made it during the campaign, and I'll continue to make that as long as I serve. Wanted to talk about what we've been doing in the legislature. I'm not going to talk about it very deeply because it would take the rest of the night, and there are other people that need to say some things. But let's talk about what we did for the local community. First of all, we passed a bill that returned the constitutional authority to the county court. That was a bill that Judge Peters asked. It was a local bill. Most of the bills that I've carried were local, and we were very successful with those. The other two other bills that we passed had to do with the city of College Station, and they had to do with the municipal management districts. Those are passed, and now it's up to the city of College Station to determine how they're going to handle that. We also passed something that I think is very, very important to us, and that was a county-wide initiative that covered both Bryan and College Station and the county as hotel motel tax, where we'll be giving a percentage of that money to A&M to help construct the new or reconstruct the Kyle Field. I think that's so important to our community because of the economic boost that those football games give to us, and I think that was also a very good bill. And then I passed a bill that had to do with the campus some years ago, and I think it was when Bill Moore was senator. There was a bill that he introduced a bill and passed it that restricted the lease and sale of property on the campus. And A&M was the only university in the state, as I understand it, that had that restriction. We passed a bill that took that phrase out of the legislation or out of the education code, and now A&M can do things with property on campus. Primarily, what they were wanting to do currently is redo all the core dorms, do them all at once, and they can do that by with a contract for some contractor to redevelop those, and they will operate them until such point as they are paid back for the money they invest. I think that's a good thing to do. Education, very important, particularly in this community. I think that we've done some good things in education. That is about 53% of the total budget of the state of Texas, and we've done that in public education. We pretty well funded it almost as fully as we did 4 years ago. So that's important. Water is the key issue, and you're going to be voting in November on a constitutional amendment to allow us to move money from the so-called rainy day fund, and I try to take claim for that, but they don't want me to get a hold of the checkbook. We are going to move that over into a bank that will allow cities and other utility districts to borrow money to help finance water improvements. Always when I talk about water, I say the first thing we need to do is conserve. And I say that because that's the easiest and best way to grow our water supply. That doesn't cost any money. It just means that we can use less and have more available. The budget as a freshman member of the legislature, serving on appropriations was quite an honor. Matter of fact, Texas Tribune, in one of their columns, said that I got the best appointments of any freshman member of the legislature, and I do think I did. That, higher ed, and then House administration. But the budget, we passed a good budget. And I want to talk about something that bothers me. If you may recall that some people say there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. My father put it a different way. He said, numbers don't lie, figures don't lie, but liars figure. And I think that's been happening in the news media about what we've been seeing concerning the budget of the state of Texas. If you look at our budget, I'm just going to make a couple of statements about it, and look at it as in comparison to previous budgets and consider inflation and population growth, our budget was about a 2% growth, if I'm not mistaken. If you take the total budget, which includes federal funds, there's almost a 3% decrease in spending. So people who claim that we're over there just spending money wildly should be ashamed of themselves, because we have not done that. And I surely won't do that. The one issue that we did not cover and should have been covered is transportation. We're going back in this special session. Senator Swartner is working on it right now, I'm sure. And we're going to try to do something that will help us with our transportation needs. There's something like $4 billion needed every year to cover the transportation needs of the state of Texas, to alleviate the congestion in the big cities and to maintain the highways. We don't have that kind of money. So we're going to try to have a constitutional amendment that will take some of the money that's been going into the rainy day fund. I think that's the bill that's going to come up, and allocate it to highways. And I think that's a very important thing. I'll learn more about that when I get back to Austin. I haven't been there this week. We've been working on, the other members of the legislature have been working on redistricting, and these other items have just been added recently. So I'm sure I'll be learning more about that as I get back to Austin. Don't want to take any more time, but I would be happy for you to call me, come see me, send me questions, email me, whatever you want to do, and I'll be happy to respond. And I thank you for the opportunity, Jason, to speak to these folks from our community and let them know what we've been doing in Austin. I'm sure that Senator Swartner will straighten out any errors I may have made. Thank you so much.